Welcome to Trinity Matters, a community programme of news and interest items based on the parish of Holy Trinity Nailsea. My name is Caroline Mason. Thank you for joining us. Today we're going to see around the Trinity Garden and also hear from the Christians Against Poverty charity, which helps anyone with financial challenges. This is a new initiative for us. If you would like to be involved in future programmes, if you have ideas of things that we could include or feedback that you would like to give us, then we would love to hear from you. Details of how to do that will be at the end of the programme. Welcome to Trinity Garden. Trinity Garden is this beautiful garden attached to Holy Trinity Church, Nailsea. And it's been developed over the last few years for the purpose of providing a garden for community use, where people can come and reflect and enjoy these lovely surroundings. Obviously, at the moment, the garden is closed because of COVID-19. And when its lockdown eases and we are able to open it again, we will let you know. That hasn't happened at present. But we've come to catch up with Ian and Sheila, who over the past few months, supported by the garden team, have been tending this beautiful place.
This is what we call our mini meadow, because it's been planted with a natural wildflower mix that's suitable for this soil. It's suitable for clay, which we're on, and suitable for sun. So in this mix, we've got a variety of native plants, which are good for food plants, good for nectar supply for insects. And also we have this really important little plant. It's going into seed now, but it's called yellow rattle. And it's semi-parasitic on grasses, so it helps to keep the whole mini meadow in balance. The grasses don't take over from the wildflowers. We're standing now in the sensory garden, and I'd like to talk a bit about the scent that we have here. We've planted several things particularly chosen for their scent. Now, this rose is called a Shropshire Lad, and it has the most lovely fruity smell and little coral buds. One of my favourites, and it's very healthy leaf. So that has a lovely scent on the air. And then behind me is Philadelphus, mock orange blossom, and that again has a citrusy smell, which wafts a long way. And then on the raised beds over here, we have a dianthus called Mrs. Sinkins, which has got the best scent of all the pinks. This pink here, I don't think, that doesn't have a scent, but it has a lovely bouncy look to it. This is another part of the sensory garden, and these raised beds can be used for different things. This one is being used by Grove School when some of their children come and plant vegetables. But of course, with lockdown, it hasn't been possible for them to come over. So I thought in their absence, I would plant up some vegetables. So I've had some lettuce, some radish, some nasturtiums, to bring in the insects, but I've also had some unwelcome visitors, and the pigeons have really nibbled all my beetroot, so there's just the stumps left. I'm hoping that Grove School can return later in the year, and that they can pick some of the produce. In another part of the garden we have planted some runner beans, and maybe they'll be in time to harvest some of those.
This summer it's been so lovely and dry for a lot of the time that it's given us the opportunity to clean and treat all the seats in the garden. There's about 12 seats in all, and also the cross. I've just cleaned it, and the front shows how it's been cleaned and right round, and I'm just putting some oil on it now. We designed the garden so that there will be ample seating, So altogether we've got about 12 seats distributed around the garden, and the idea is that as the plants grow up, each seat will be reasonably secluded so that you can sit quietly and think on your own and pray, and that if there's a group that are using the garden, there's plenty of room for people to sit without being on top of each other.
We decided it would be great to have a pergola, which is this structure here, because it gives a bit of shade. You can grow plants that require a bit of shade, like lily of the valley and the ferns, and you can also have climbers. We've got honeysuckle and climbing roses and this beautiful vine. It's not just insects and tiny things that visit the garden. We also have bigger mammals and birds, and up here we have the blue tip box. And this spring I was delighted when blue tits took up residence, and they were feeding their young, and then the young fledged and flew off. But I'm afraid they made rather a big fuss about being fed, and I suspect at least 2 of them were lunch for a sparrowhawk, because we found the feathers on the lawn. But I'm hoping that the rest of the brood flew away happily. Other animals that we have evidence for are foxes in the garden and a couple of hedgehogs which have been caught on film. So we're hoping that maybe there will be little hoglets in the future.
Thank you to Ian and Sheila for showing us around the garden and enabling all of us to catch up with what's been going on. We are now going to have 2 interviews, one with Chris Barnes and the other with Joanna Pritchett. They are both involved with the Christians Against Poverty charity. This charity supports anyone, whether you're a churchgoer or not, to learn more about money management and also to give support for people in debt if that is what's required. So let's hear what they have to say. Today I've met with Chris Barnes, who is a CAP money coach. Chris, I understand that Holy Trinity has partnered with CAP. Who are they?
Well, CAP stands for Christians Against Poverty, and that's a Christian charity that for many years have been helping people come out of debt and release them from all the stresses and strains that that can cause.
So how would this help people in Nailsea today?
Well, there's 2 ways. First of all, a group of us from the church have been trained by CAP as CAP money coaches, and that is to teach us to run the CAP money course. Now, the CAP money course is designed for people who perhaps never been taught how to run their finances, to do just that and avoid getting into debt in the first place.
Great. If I don't go to church and I don't have any faith and I've had nothing to do with Holy Trinity, can I still access this course?
Well, we decided to put this course on for the benefit of our community, not just for the benefit of our church members. And to be honest, in the last few years, most people who've attended the course have got no connection with our church and indeed come from all over North Somerset.
Great, so everybody's welcome. That's great. So how much does this cost? If I wanted to do it, how much would I have to pay?
It's entirely free. You get access to the online budgeting tool, and that continues well after the course finishes. You get the delegate workshop books, and you also have access to tea and lovely cakes.
That sounds great. So if I wanted to do it, when is the next course? When could I start?
Well, during the current crisis, we obviously haven't been able to put courses on, but we're hoping to return in the autumn, even if we have to do it by a Zoom course. But in the meantime, if people want to talk to me about the course, booking on the course, there are details on the Holy Trinity website, which give you contact details for the course. And also, if you want to talk to me about any other budgeting issues before you attend a course, I'd be very happy to speak to you on the phone.
That's great, Chris. Thank you. We'll put your contact details up at the end of this interview. But did you say there was a second way that CAP could help people in Nailsea?
Yes, over the last 20 or so courses that we've run, every so often we come across people who really are in such serious debt that we can't really help them just through the CAP Money course. So we were really pleased when about 2 years ago, a group of churches in Clevedon, Portishead and Nailsea decided to get together to form a CAP debt centre. Now we've appointed Joanna Pritchard as our debt centre manager, and she'll be able to tell you a lot more about how that debt centre works.
Thank you, Chris, for joining me this morning. We are now going to have a few words with Joanna and hear what she has to say. Thank you. Hello, Joanna, and welcome. Thank you for joining us this morning. Could you tell us a little bit about the Debt Centre?
Good morning, Caroline. It's nice to meet you. The Debt Centre is here to service the needs of our community within Nailsea, Clevedon and Portishead, and its primary purpose is to provide a free debt counselling service to anyone with a problem with debt, to absolutely anyone. We are able to help whatever the level of debt and complexity of the situation. So however high that figure is, it really doesn't matter. We are here to be able to serve you and help you. And the only people we're not able to help, or we cannot help, are those who are self-employed. And CAP is very experienced in helping those in debt, even if the bailiffs are involved or people are facing court action. And having been established for 25 years, CAP has a lot of experience to draw on in providing help, however bad it is. And sometimes clients think, no, you can't help me. But yes, we definitely can. And we also know, because of our experience, it takes a huge amount of courage to refer oneself for help. And sometimes this can even take several years. But we really do urge people to seek help sooner rather than later.
So this is a hugely challenging journey for people. What support does CAP give them during this time?
I think that's the best thing about CAP, because CAP provides all the professional advice. So they negotiate with the creditors on the client's behalf. And the most important thing is that clients can talk to CAP at any time to obtain support and advice. We also realise that many of our clients live with health problems, both physical and mental and emotional health problems, and they need that extra bit of help. And so in order to become debt free. And so what we try to do is that locally we've got a team of befrienders who are individuals who will meet one-on-one with clients in a public place and just provide that little bit of support. We call them befrienders. It's the purpose is in the name. So they are basically someone to be a friend, and they will just provide a bit of company, a bit of support at those times when they need to. I think it's also very important to say this, which is that our approach is never to judge or ask why. Why is somebody in debt? We never ask it. But our whole approach is to show compassion and care and kindness and give people hope, because often they're coming from a situation of utter hopelessness is what they're feeling. So CAP is a brilliant charity which cares for people. And I just want to say, so if you know anyone out there who needs help or wants to ask more questions about how we work, please get them to contact me. The details of how to contact me are going to be shown at the end of this video. And do either ring me or send me an email, and I will get back to them. I'll get back to you in due course.
So the message is help is available for everybody.
Absolutely.
Whether you are a member of a church or not, whether you have faith or not, you won't be judged, you will be heard, and there's somebody who will be available to walk with you through this journey out of debt.
Absolutely right, Caroline. That's said very, very succinctly, very helpfully. And I can't stress enough at the moment, we know, as you said right at the beginning, that many people are sliding into debt through no fault of their own, whatever the circumstances. And that's really, really tough. And we would encourage you right now to face up to that. Don't leave it too long. Don't wait for the nasty letters. Don't wait for the bailiffs. Do something about it. CAP are here to support you, to support anybody, and we do understand. So please feel free to contact me and I can tell you more, or to phone CAP on the free phone number.
Thank you so much, Joanna, for joining us this morning and to explain what you do. It's been a really informative time, and I hope it will be help to many who find themselves in this situation. So thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you to Chris and Joanna for joining us and telling us more about this important Christians Against Poverty charity. We are now coming to the end of this first programme of Trinity Matters, and we're going to finish by reading a modern version of Psalm 23. The Lord is my shepherd, I lack nothing. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. He refreshes my soul. He guides me along the right paths for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the darkest valley, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows. Surely your goodness and love will follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever.